Recorded Books presents The Next Ship Home by Heather Webb. Narrated by Kathryn Markey. Journalist urges government to intervene on behalf of Italians at condemned Ellis Island. James Mackle reports. Manhattan Chronicle. March 1, 1902. After a recent trip to New York, journalist Roberto Giamatti returned to his native Rome outraged. Though his visit to the United States included time with his newly emigrated family, his main intent was to report on steamship conditions and their employees, as well as those conditions at Ellis Island. Mr. Giamatti witnessed gross maltreatment of his countrymen, and especially of young Italian women passing through the halls of the infamous station. After publishing a series of articles abroad detailing his findings, Mr. Giamatti urges the American government to intervene on behalf of those who will, one day, become citizens of the United States. Commissioner Fitchie of Ellis Island was not available for comment. Chapter 1. Crossing the Atlantic in winter wasn't the best choice, but it was the only one. For days the steamship had cowered beneath a glaring sky and tossed on rough seas as if the large vessel weighed little. Francesca gripped the railing to steady herself. Winds tore at her clothing and punished her bared cheeks, reminding her how small she was, how insignificant her life. It was worth it, to brave the elements for as long as she could stand them. Being out of doors meant clean, bright air to banish the disease from her lungs and scrub away the rank odors clinging to her clothes. Too many of the 600 passengers below decks had become sick. She tried not to focus on the desperate ones, clutching their meager belongings and praying Hail Marys in strained whispers. She wasn't like them, she told herself, even while her body betrayed her and she trembled more each day as they sailed farther from Napoli. Yet despite the unknown that lay ahead, she would rather die than turn back. As the ship slammed against wave after unruly wave, she thought she might die after all, drift to the bottom of a fathomless dark sea. She couldn't believe she'd done it. Left Sicilia, her home, and all she'd ever known. It had taken every ounce of her courage, but she and Maria had managed to break free. Dear, fragile Maria. Swallowing hard, Francesca looked out at the vast tumult of water and pushed a terrible thought far from her mind. Maria would recover. She had to. Francesca refused to imagine life without her sister. She tucked her hands under her arms for warmth. Everywhere she looked, her gaze met gray, a slippery color that shimmered silver and foamed with whitecaps, or gathered into charcoal clouds. Already she longed for the wide expanse of sea surrounding her island home in a perfect blue-green embrace, the rainbow of purples and oranges that streaked the sunset sky, the craggy landscape, the scent of citrus and sunshine. She wrapped her arms around her middle, holding herself as if she might break apart. Reminiscing about what she once cherished was foolish. Somehow, she had to find things to like about New York. Freedom from him, if nothing else. She would never again meet the fists of her drunken papa. At the memory of his bulging eyes and the way his face flowered purple, she rubbed the bruise on her arm that had not quite healed. She would no longer spend her days stealing so that he might buy another bottle of Amaro Averna or some other liquor. Paolo Ricci could do it himself. He could tumble from his fishing boat into the sea for all she cared. A shiver ran over her skin and rattled her teeth. Like it or not, it was time to go below decks. As she weaved through the brave souls who paid no heed to the wind despite the cost to warmth, she wondered briefly if any first- or second-class passengers had defied the cold on the upper-class decks overhead. The ship was tiered, and
Sample complete. Ready to continue?